Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. Today we are going to talk about making feedback effective as described in the book The Business Coach's Toolkit by Stephen G. Fairley and Bill Zipp. Providing feedback is tricky. Many times managers are uncomfortable delivering feedback because they fear the employee will become defensive, angry, and/or cause a scene. The result of such a response could make the employee's performance worse or even affect the morale of the other employees. However, often if feedback is not delivered, then important performance issues will go unresolved and cause other problems. Thus, providing effective feedback is an important management skill. The most effective feedback can be divided into 3 parts. 1. Setup. 2. Delivery. 3. Impact assessment. For feedback to be effective, it must be delivered at a time when it can be best received, not when emotions are running high or close to the completion of an event. In finding a time, it is important that the feedback deliverer be in the frame of mind for a productive discussion. They should assess their emotional triggers and be sure they're able to keep them under control. The deliverer should also be aware of their motivation for the feedback. Does the feedback benefit the recipient, the organization, or the deliverer? If benefits to the recipient or the organization cannot be identified, the feedback could be perceived as self-serving and may not be effective. Finally, the deliverer should confirm that the recipient is in the frame of mind to receive the feedback. This is accomplished by seeking permission using questions like, "Is this a good time?" or "May I share something with you?" By asking the question, it gives the recipient notice that an important message is coming and gives them a chance to let the deliverer know if they are in a frame of mind to hear this message. Once the setup is complete, it is time to deliver the feedback. The first step is for the deliverer to speak from their own perspective based on what they have observed firsthand or their opinion. The deliverer should not hide behind others who are not present, but they should use phrases like, "I have observed," or "in my opinion," or "from my perspective." The second step is for the deliverer to share their thoughts in a neutral way with an honest desire to build an understanding. The third step is to explain the impact of the recipient's behavior on the deliverer or the organization. At this stage, it is important to say that the recipient may not have intended this impact. By giving the recipient the benefit of the doubt, defensive feelings are often diffused and they will feel often safe to admit their behavior. The fourth step is to give the recipient a few moments of silence to reflect on the feedback. This provides time for the recipient to gather their thoughts, develop their opinion, and frame a productive response. If the recipient is unable to respond productively, set another meeting for the very near future to discuss the issue further. The final step is to encourage clarifying questions. Often it is helpful to ask the recipient if they have questions or thoughts. The deliverer may want to prime the pump by offering a question or two of their own. The entire feedback session should be a discussion between 2 people, not just a one-way directive. Encouraging questions start the discussion, so the next step of impact assessment will occur. Now that the feedback is delivered, it is time to assess the impact. First, the deliverer must ensure that the message was delivered clearly. This does not require that the recipient agree, they just need to understand what the deliverer said. Often, the deliverer can determine the clarity of the message during the question above. Once the deliverer is sure that the message is clear, they should ask the recipient if they agree with the feedback. In most cases, the recipient can choose to embrace the feedback or not. If they do embrace the feedback, then the door is open to brainstorm new behaviors or solutions. The final steps are the recipient to choose and commit to an action and build an accountability mechanism. Many times, it is appropriate for the deliverer to provide the accountability mechanism. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and if you have enjoyed this presentation, please look for the other presentations from the Business Coach's Toolkit on our website.